Yes, I muted everybody, but you can unmute yourself if you need to. But just right now, in the chat box, put whether you're an owner or a clinician. Okay, now here's the next question. Still open or closed? So open, closed, doesn't matter whether you're a clinician or not, but it says open, closed, open, closed. I wish I could sort these by open, closed, open, closed. Wow. All right, so those of you who are open, what percent of your patient population has been decreased? You have a 25% reduction, 40% reduction, the ones who are still open. And if you guys don't have the chat open, you'll want to because you've seen, I mean, these are pretty dramatic. Owners, how many, and again, this is a reason so that we can share how you did it perhaps. How many of you have let people go? Say yes or no. So owners, yes or no. Have you let people go? And then as soon as that's done, I'm going to put a line behind it because I'm going to ask a different question to clinicians or similar questions. Okay, so, all right, so I'm going to put it there. Clinicians. So hold on a second. Clinicians, how many of you have been let go? Say yes or no. Or reduced hours, let's say, I guess I should say. Yeah, okay, just answer it yes or no as far as been let go or not. And then we'll ask the other question here in a second. Yeah, yeah, sorry, somebody else tried to get in. People be turning left and right. Okay, so this is for clinicians now again. Have you had hours reduced? I think that's probably the better question right now. So you can see, yowzer. No. Okay. Wow. All right. So next question. What are the top 3 things that are most important to you to get answered? So don't hit return until you do 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so just type 1, 2, and 3, keep just saying it, and then hit return. Because don't hit. Okay. All right, so we're going to learn a lot. Probably well, the next question I'm going to ask, hopefully we'll learn from you guys here, because I was just on another webinar, And I was hearing states that are paying and reimbursing, and I had not heard that up to that point in time. So I'm trying to see whether you guys know the answer to this stuff here in a second. So at least a lot of you guys are interested in the idea of, effectively putting telehealth into play. And that I can definitely show you and point you to the direction on my website that's already been created. All right, so next. And again, I'm hoping for references. I may have get a lot less here, but nobody type anything else right now yet, because I'm trying to put a couple spaces in between here. Wait, hold on. Don't type any more in the chat here for a second. Now what I'd like to know, because these are the ones that people are going to be asking, is anybody yet getting paid for telehealth in your state? In other words, somebody had told me Connecticut was, and they mandated it was, but I'd like to know, if you say yes, do you have any black and white, like even if you say yes, can you go to a website and put it on here? That'd be really, really valuable for everybody. All right, because this I can at least send out to all you guys. Actually, you're going to have to grab it from here because, again, you guys didn't log in. You kind of just here. I don't know what, I don't think, maybe that's for your email in the beginning. So does anybody know currently right now whether your state, or not your state, your insurances are reimbursing? And what are they? And can you give us some black and white, which means look up onto your, go off to your browser. And so I'm not talking cash pay. That's what I'm hearing, Medicaid. Massachusetts says they are going to, not sure if it has been happened yet. Maybe it was Massachusetts, not Connecticut. So everybody's saying, I really only wanted if you knew it. So if you know it, yeah, see, this is what I'm getting. That's pretty much, and I was hoping somebody would say yes, definitely for a blah. But the one I was just on, they were speaking a lot about pediatrics, and pediatrics may be the early intervention, or because a lot of them do Medicaid. Okay, so we all seem to be, it says Georgia CMS approved PT and OT. So whoever's A900000394 to everyone, if you wouldn't mind unmuting yourself and saying what that means. It says Georgia CMS, that's Medicare, is not approved PT and OT. Do you have a black and white of that? If anybody can put down, if you are saying yes. All right. Katie, yes, we will be getting to the TMR and the telehealth. But we're going to be, these questions are going to get asked. Okay, so what I want to show you now is exactly what she said. Let's get to TMR and telehealth. I want to show you guys, there's 100 people on here. We'll probably go through a routine ourselves, just as if you're going to go and treat somebody. I want to show you how simple it is, but I want to show you the resources that you can go after you're done here and still see it. All right, get it reviewed again and again. Use it with what it is, because there's 2.0 continuing ed credits. If you care about them, there's no charge on my website just to go through. You don't have to get them. You can just go through the material if you want. All right, to get yourself and or your staff up and running and feeling pretty confident with it. Right, but well, I'm hoping to have the time to actually literally do it here so that you guys can see it change on 100 people. So that you can go, hey, that's pretty cool. Because we're going to show you, no matter what the condition they have, all right, you can start simply with typically a very quick, easy process and use 2 exercises typically to change a crap load of people. And we're going to do it here so that you can see it. All right, and people will ask, in what setting are we talking about? TMR is used in every setting of physical therapy, OT, it's used in athletic training, chiropractic. Again, PTA, PT, PTAs, OT, OT, I know that's not settings. Athletic trainers, massage therapists, personal trainers. Okay? And it's used, again, in each setting of those. Okay, so with that said, let me just show you where you can go and find this. I'm going to lay it out for you so you can see it, right, and go get it. And let me share my screen here. What had happened? Zoom. And again, if you want to ask a question, I know there's 100 of us. Everybody's muted except me, but you can unmute yourself. So feel free. I like it when people are willing to do that. So first of all, if you go to totalmotionrelease.com, right? It says what we're approved for. Watch this one video and you get hooked. And there's right here, it says click here for free training. I'm going to go to that in a second. This is not a webinar that you're going to be sitting there for an hour and a half with. You actually, I'll show you the way it's set up. It's set up. You could even send a patient here. Let's say your doors are closed and you still want them to getting help, right? You can send them here. That's not the intent of this. It's for you guys as clinicians. But if you haven't seen TMR work and how quickly it does work, and look, I've got some telehealth sessions here, right? You need to go and check it out. I'm not necessarily going to spend the time going through these. We do have, it says it. We do have TMR TOTS also. At least you can go and check that out too. What I'm referring to today, though, is TMR. All right, you can extrapolate to some TOTS, but I always say if you've got infants, you definitely want to do that. You've got little toddlers too, but this can be seen on both of those. But how do we recommend it? We then step number 2, we show you why it works and how it works, and we show you how long it lasts. So I've done a very thorough job of having almost a training right here on the home page. Now, what's really cool is if you go to the free training, and I'm going to take you in through it so you know what it looks like. You're going to come here. It's going to ask you to fill out information. Just click because it gives you some reminders. It gives you, hey, here's your information. But it says right here, the simple rapid results training is on a membership site, so you can access it at any time. All right. Make it something, so it's going to ask you for it's going to ask you to create your own password. So just click here. It's going to ask you, mine doesn't. I'll go back here, so I'll log out for a second. It's going to come here. You're going to create your own password. Boom. I'm already a member, so I'm just going to log in. And here's the training. It's going to give you a warning first, and then it's going to give you the training. Every video is designed to be 3 to 5 minutes, actually 2 to 5 minutes, and then you're going to actually go and do it on yourself. So what's really powerful here, it's about you seeing results on yourself and having the exact recipe that I'm going to give to you that you can give to your patients, right? And that your staff can give to your patients. Yeah, as far as getting distance from patients, it's definitely, you can do it behind the glass wall if you want to, but again, you'll be on telehealth. Now, I'm going to come back and talk about the 7 steps to therapy and the rules in the form that we use, because we'll probably do this together, right? But this tells you a process that every single person that you're using this on can also get the same steps. They can take this for home. They'll know the rules of when something gets better, when something gets worse, when something plateaus, and they'll have a means to record it. So if you're not following me and you know how to follow me, you could always have this up following along with me or on another screen if you know how to do that, if you're computer literate. Okay, now you come through, I get 2.5 minutes, and then I get you right into testing yourself. All right, so I'm going to get you to test your entire body. Then we're going to test an area of complaint if you have one. Then we'll get right into treating or scoring it. Then we're going to tell you to take a picture of what it looks like on your cell phone, all right? And then we're going to tell you to, and again, we're not going to do this per se just like this. I'm going to, but we're going to do it, right here out loud and see it being done with all 100 of you guys. But you do it individually. And then you're going to start exercising. Notice it says you're going to choose the yummy or the yucky, and you're going to start treating. And you're going to see how quickly treating the yummy fixes the yucky. And the point here is I'm going to be offering other sessions of you seeing me treating people, all right, one-on-one or one-on-many. Right now we're doing one-to-many. So you can begin, if you can extrapolate out what I'm doing here, you've got the ability to, hey, they're at home, they have no resources except this, they don't want to pay, hey, they can come here and do it too. There's no reason somebody can't. Then they can step it up to having your help from a telehealth segment. And then when your brick and mortar, if you have a brick and mortar, comes back up, or you're still seeing a skeletal crew if they choose to come into brick and mortar. All right, step 6 is the rules to choose when to do what. And then you're going to do a second exercise and be done. Now, the other reason that I'm giving this here is at the very bottom, you're going to see me treating a chiropractor. You had a shoulder issue you hadn't been able to fix, so we do chiropractic. You're going to see me, just like we're doing here, doing one-to-many sessions. Okay, now I'm just going to read some questions over here. Are you all from outpatient? I'm in Kentucky with home health. Curious if this webinar could be beneficial to our team. Absolutely. The largest percent of TMR, probably 80% do outpatient. Or the athletics, and then 20% is home health. In this program, showing exercise and treatment from a high database in which patients are treated by Tonga, the patient relates info on their own. Not quite sure what that question is. Okay, so there's where to find it. So it's totalmotionrelease.com, and then when you do get to that, you've got the free access to it. Now I'm going to come back here. If you decide to do the CEE credits, when you get done, there's a Facebook group. Most of you guys may already be on it. Get on our Facebook group, Total Motion Release. You will see me sending out emails with, me treating people very quickly, right? I just had somebody who had severe back pain, and we did press ups, all right? The quote McKenzie way, but we actually fixed them with a leg raise. Okay, so some cool stuff. But again, there's a lot of interaction on this, and so a lot of information. I'm trying to give you guys an ability to have I like to go in a restaurant and there's 3 things to choose, because then I don't have to have so many things. This is a pretty chaotic time right now. And so I want to give you things that you can gravitate towards and say, hey, Tom recommends this. I'm just going to go. I'm not going to go look at 100 other things, but here's what we can use. So if you're looking for a platform, what you're on right this very second is Zoom. It's got a free version, and or there's a little extended version for $14.99. You see that we have 100 people on here, 99 right now, right? You can get that, host up to 100 participants, unlimited one-on-one meetings that are 40 minutes, or $15, it's unlimited, okay? And these include webcam features. Now, people are asking, does it have to be HIPAA compliant? In this time, right this very second, there's an announcement of, hey, it's talking about HIPAA compliant violations against healthcare providers serve patients through everyday communication during the by public health services. So there is something that I can post this in a second saying that they're being slack on that. All right, so Zoom, I think, is your best one to do. And then when it comes to one-to-one, I mean, having to go back, and maybe some of you guys as owners are going to be saying, I want to use this in my clinic. And when it gets, so you have to be more HIPAA compliant, you got doxy.me. Doxy.me I have it on pricing page, I guess. Do I? So you've got Doxy.me that's free. However, if you come over here to the security that they do, they still sign a BAA. They still sign a BAA at $35 a month. They still sign a BAA for the $50 a month per provider. Now, people are on here talking about e-visits versus e-visits versus telehealth. It is different, guys. They're actually, you have to go through the portal right now. It's actually looks like it's more audio, more like a telephone kind of thing than actually video. And I'm not going to get into that right today. All right, so there you have it. Doxy.me, and you got Zoom. Any questions about those two things? And then you have this way to get your staff or other people or yourself. I highly recommend. This is so thorough, but we're going to do it here too. Okay. And when you go ahead and complete this, if you decide to complete this for CEU training, just for the fact of completing it for CEUs, I give you my 3 books that I have. I give you a reduced rate, but guess what? I'm already giving that out because of the coronavirus. Instead of the $600 that it normally is to take level 1, it's $400. I'm giving you, I think there's even a McKenzie. I'm showing you how to TMR McKenzie. And there's a lot of added bonuses just simply for doing the free CEU credits. Because if you'll do it, you're going to learn a lot about TMR. And I think you're going to be pretty well taken that this is the premier telehealth technique. Okay. Have I ever tried Zoom for healthcare? No, I believe that's $200 a month. Doxy.me is the HIPAA compliant one. Zoom is not the HIPAA compliant one unless you go to the $200 a month one, which is somewhere else. All right. Any other questions on those two? All right. From there, let me just go back to if you haven't seen TMR, I'm trying to just give you an idea of it very quickly. Let me just do this one here.
All right, go for it. Just show me that left knee lift you got there.
He's unable to lift that. It's been 3 months. That's as much as he's got. He called that an 80. We use 1 out of 100 rather than 1 out of 10.
That's still that 85 and pain in the hip. All right, go start working the righty.
What we do, and I'll show you guys in a minute, we analyze the whole body first for motion, and then we choose something that's yummy, that moves well, all right, to exercise it, and this is what typically happens.
Good. My skeleton falls down. Exactly.
Not that the skeleton falls down.
Knocked him over. No, sir. Thankfully, that wasn't you. Good. How many do you think we can do here?
Try to do a set of 10.
Okay.
Now you did 4 to 6 sets of sit to stands. You may go, oh my God, my patients couldn't do it. Don't worry, all this good stuff can be modified. It goes all the way down to if somebody throws their back out, you can be very ginger with them on their backs, a whole bunch of stuff.
So we did another 2 sets of 10 on the sit to stands. Our 35 on our pain spot is now what?
Nothing.
Good.
There you go. He's got nothing now. I know he said it was a 35, but that was after he'd done several. So we retest every 2 sets. So that's what it looks like. I wanted to give you one more because this is, well, let's do this one. This one's pretty easy and quick, and Bill might be on here. Okay,
Show me your bad one. Okay, now back down. Okay, 15.
They're going to go do what appears to be the opposite side, which is, but they're actually shortening the bad side. And I might explain that in a little bit.
Bounce it at the end range. I'm not counting. You got to count. Okay, 2 more sets. You know you're delaying the workout.
Awesome. Keep going.
Well, I'm having you do this because what we're starting with is push-ups. Okay, this is your 3rd one, right? Okay, when you get done, the other one will work better.
Right.
May not be perfect, but it's going to work better.
What does that do?
Okay, raise it up.
Oh, man.
Told you. Now, first rule in therapy is if it works, you got to do it again. So 3 more sets.
Okay,
In
so
the
she
office
just,
inside, anywhere from 7 to 40.
she just keeps doing it. I just want to speed it up for us.
First time it was in the medical literature was 18, even better. Told you.
So this is him. This is a 5-day follow-up.
Right, so that's your bad side. Now,
So her forward flexion was fine. They found another motion she couldn't do.
do your good side. Bang it against your head. 3 sets, 15. It'll be fine. Your count. Jose, you been doing your exercise? 5 times a day. But it only it takes less than 5 minutes. And you get instantaneous change. So I get a change. There you go. How awesome is that?
There you go. So we have not seen TMR yet. All right. Any other questions from a technique standpoint yet? Now, right here explains. All right, and I'm not going to go.
Okay, how does this work?
I don't think I'm going to do this one. Yeah, I will. You know what? This one's good to hear.
You make it very simple and very easy. You can do one of 2 things to the tissues of the body to help them heal. You can lengthen them or shorten them. You can go into restriction or tightness, or you can go into ease. Same thing, lengthen, shorten, okay? So let me give you an example, because this is what the majority of you guys have been brought up to do. If you want it, let's say your hamstring, your back, your legs tight, you think that, hey, I've got to continue to go into that tightness. You can't lift this arm. You're trying to do things up the wall and try to stretch into it. So most of you have been taught to go into the tightness. Guess what? Clinicians have been taught the same thing. And they've been taught to stay on or in the injured area. Okay? When you know total motion release, you will be able to go in the injured area into restriction or ease. You'll be able to use the other extremity, or what we call quadrant of the body. You'll be able to use the left leg or the right leg. You'll be able to use the other 3 quadrants to fix the injured quadrant. When you're able to do that, that's when you'll be able to have a skill set to use for the rest of your life. So let me explain shortening and lengthening. If I can't lift up this arm, okay, what should be done is we have to determine, how can I lengthen this or shorten it? What's the this? Well, you got tissue going from your fingertips all the way down to your arm, or down to your foot. And if you can't lift this arm, perhaps there's a tissue in the body is really, really tight, but I don't know where, but I might be feeling it in my shoulder. So up to this point, we believe it must be the shoulder that we have to fix. Well, maybe not. So here, let's go the old way and lengthen tissue, and I'm even going to give you some more clever ways to try it. So let's say I can't lift up here. Typically, the way you do what you've been taught, okay, keep lifting into it, wall. But I say to you, do 2 sets, okay? Do 2 sets, rest for 30 seconds to a minute, and recheck. Did it make you better? If it didn't, probably it's not worth doing. How else can I lengthen the tissue of this body? Well, I can go like this. I can do reps, okay, and lengthen this tissue if I choose to lengthen it. And I'll do 2 sets of 20, rest, recheck to see if that made it better. If it did, use that, do some more. If it didn't, probably not going to work. Now you can kick your leg across like that lengthens this tissue. All right, so you can do some reps, use 2 sets of reps, 2 to 3 sets of reps, maybe 20 reps. Rest 30 seconds a minute, and recheck to see if it helps your shoulder. That would be lengthening tissue in the body to see if it helps an injury. Well, what you've experienced in either the videos or in doing the exact motions on yourself is, how in the world is treating the other side of the body making another area get better. Well, watch. When I lift this arm up like this, it lifts the side, thereby shortening this side. So even though I'm exercising this side, I'm really doing work. I'm moving. I'm treating this side. Okay? So lifting this 2 sets of 20 shortens this. Then I can rest for 30 seconds and recheck this to see what happens. How else can I shorten the tissue of this side of the body? I can do my trunk. Lengthen or side bend 2 sets of 20, recheck this. And the other thing is I could kick this leg out. That shortens this tissue on this side of the body. 2 sets of 20, 3 sets, whatever. Recheck to see what happens. And you will then be experienced at finding out which one works better, lengthening or shortening. And I will tell you, it's 7 out of 9 times, or let's say 8 out of 10 times, shortening is going to work quicker. And because you've never even thought about doing it, and neither have most clinicians, you could have dramatic effect even on things that have been there for 20 years, because for 20 years you've been going into length. Is that fair?
Good. All right. So let's make it work as a group. Before we do, I got to get back to, I'm going to do my, I'm just going to open some things up and share them in a second. All right. But we are going to do this on ourselves. When join TMR, do we see our patients and they see our PT? Yes. So when you join TMR, no. When you do Zoom, okay, so good. There's some questions here. You got Zoom, what we're using right now, okay? So your patients would click exactly like a link that you gave them, and they would be treating, they would get seen just like I'm seeing you and you're seeing each other. Doxy.me is very similar, but it's just one-to-one. Okay? TMR has nothing to do with this video stuff. All right, so now let me show you how to fix yourself quickly. And we're going to do it with 7 steps of instructions. That's it. Here's what we're going to do. I got 3 screens open here. So before I was a PT, yeah, TMR equals total motion release. So before I was a PT, I was a teacher. All right? I taught high school math, from anything to general math to trigonometry. And basically, I just have a knack of breaking complexity down into simplicity. And that is, math has 6 components that are the only thing you have to worry about. Adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. Adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. And then you have to know a symbol, right? All those Y's and X's and all that other stuff. But all they mean is what we're filling in with adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. And the other thing is you have to know steps. How many steps? What steps there are. So when I came over to TMR, or to sort of the physical therapy world, I wanted to know if I could fix, I wanted to see if I could take the same logic that if you're making something work, all right, will it, if you're making something work, can I create steps that no matter who's doing it, they can follow it and get an amazing response? So what you've got here are the 7 steps to therapy. All right, so let's do them right now. So number 1 is we're going to test the body for motions that are yummy and yucky. Got it? You guys are going to do it right now. And think about it this right now. I'm talking to 100 of you. Maybe there's 95 of you, all right? But I'm treating you just like if I'm right in front of you. Fair? Okay, so I want you guys to find at least 3 motions in your body that kind of suck. We're going to start with looking at your upper extremities. So there's lots of things you can do. Just test. Okay, test a lot of ways and compare left to right, one at a time. Don't do them both together, because if there's something restricted, it will make it look kind of even when this one doesn't quite go as far. So one at a time, just find something. If some of you are going to really be nasty, think about this stuff, all right? Think about reaching behind your back. All right, now, what I'd like you to do, those of you got one, so you're just going to take a blank sheet of paper, and we're going to obviously, if you're doing the training, there's actually a spreadsheet. Just do a bunch of, looks like this, and just put down one of those motions that was yucky. All right, so mine, I'm not liking this. So I'm going to call that abduction with internal rotation. Now, what I'd like you guys to write down, because I want to know if you guys aren't playing the game here, it's not going to mean anything to you. You're not going to be able to equate it, because now you can take this, give it to your patients the way I'm doing it. Because all it is we're just testing 3 areas of the body: arms, trunk, legs, seeing whether we got crap going on. We're also going to feel the good stuff too. So do you remember what you really liked when you were doing it? Try to. So I'm going to say this one to me. If I said to you, is that a low, medium, or high amount of yuck? Notice I don't try to get into all these other terminology. Is this low, medium, or high amount of yuck when you find the yuckiest thing? For me, this is medium. That's like a 50. So it's my left arm. I'm going to put L down here, and I'm going to call it a 50. So all I've got, and I know that you might have to enlarge it, but I've just got the motion. I've got the right or left side, and then I've got. So if it's if it's low, it's 10, 20, or 30. If it's medium, it's 40, 50, or 60. And if it's high, it's 70, 80, 90, or 100. So remember, I'm going to take you guys through in 20 minutes, probably 100 of you, and we're going to get some results. Good? So now, I would like anybody who has gotten something that is 30 or above problematic, can you write it down in the chat? Say, abduction internal rotation of 50, 70. Because I want you guys to see there's some crap that you guys have too. You are typical patients, believe it or not. Now, some of you might not have anything quite yet, all right? And if you guys have 2 and 3 things, is awesome, because I want to show you can have people with multiple issues over their entire body. All right, so keep putting them. So let's talk about some other things that you could do. You could push against a wall. You could do one arm push-up. You can weight bear through these arms too, all right, if you wanted to check. Keep putting the stuff down. It's awesome, all right? I didn't want to go to neck rotation yet. I really wanted to keep it up in extremities first, all right? Now, let's do trunk. Let's twist your trunk. See what you got? Twist it and maybe side crunch to the same way. So rotate right, side crunch to the right. Side crunch means I'm doing it in the thoracic and the ribs, not in the side bend like lumbar lean. And I'll do it the other way. See what you got. Do a side crunch just regular. Side crunch just regular. Stand up and do 2 things. Try to touch your toes, but then spread your legs. Try to touch the right side versus the left. Extend backwards. Extend to the right. Extend to the left. Is it low, medium, or high? Actually, I had one. I got to find it again. Oh, that one. I'm going to give that a 40. So then write it down. So I've got right rotation for me to the right, and it's probably a 40. So let's put your trunk issue down now. So again, I just, let's see if you can see it. I just have right rotation, right side 50. And again, on the training, it's nice and neat. You got a nice thing. The 7 steps are really cool. The one thing we as clinicians don't do, somebody comes with right knee pain, we pretty much stay in that right quadrant, the hip, maybe the knee, maybe the ankle. Hell, I'm going to show you, I'm going to have you guys see a whole bunch of stuff change. We're all going to do the same exercise and see what it does to us. Even though we're finding all these issues, we're all going to do the same exercise and see what happens, okay? All right, so go ahead and put down your crap that's going on in the trunk. So again, if it's a low, it's a 10, 20, or 30. If it's a medium, it's a 40, 50, or 60. The higher the number, the worse it is. If it's a high, it's a 70, 80, 90, or 100. Come on, I need a whole bunch of them here. In the time that I'm sitting here doing this with you, it's the exact same time you'd be doing with your patients. Come on, let's light them up. We got 87 people here. Come on. We got some crap going on. And remember to keep these numbers. Write them down, because I'm going to ask you to write them down again post-test wise. I'm going to ask you for your beginning score and your end score. All right. So now let's do your legs. Okay? So legs get fun. You can do legs a couple ways. Don't lean in the back of the, or sorry, you're allowed to lean back, just don't touch your chair. Put your leg out, kick up as high as you can. Other one, kick up as high as you can. Oh, got locked. Bend it and do it. Bend it and do it. Kick your leg like this and try to get it up. Kick your leg like this and try to get it up. Kick your leg out and try to get it up. Kick your leg out, try to get up. I'm just giving you an example. Do a one-legged sit to stand. And again, you can get a higher surface if you can't do it. Do something in your legs. Do a step. If you got a step, a high step, step up on your chair. Do your abduction. Right? Do a bent in abduction. Kick it backwards. Again, I'm talking fast, but it's just so you give you guys ideas. You guys don't have to rush through this. Okay. Write down, actually my worst one was my left leg raise. Write down your leg raise or your leg something, put it down and give it a score. So right now you should have 3 things that you might not even know were crap. And now that's us testing what the whole body looks like. Therapists don't usually do that. They just want to stay in the area of injury. Well, check this out now. Now, if you know you have an injury, go and explore it. So maybe I have a wrist injury. I'm going to go and explore my wrist. If you have an ankle injury, if you have a jaw, if you have a neck problem, right? Go check it out and find another area of injury if you have it that you know of. Otherwise, we can just use these ones. And again, what I want you to do is everybody put their leg problem that was a problem. And then hopefully, like I said, I'm trying to get this done in about 20, 25 minutes. Then we'll talk about, okay, this is my eval, this is my daily treatment, this is everything. But however, what's TMR? I show you systematically how to take this and give it to your patients, which is much more in depth than you think. Okay. We got enough stuff to work? Good. We got right hip flexion. We got internal rotation of 80. We got an ankle plantar flexion of an 80. Good stuff here. All right. You ready to fix it? All right. So just so you know, I said there were 7 steps. I'm going to kind of show you them in a second. I'm going to just show you the thing that you can give your patients. It's on the free lesson, but it says 7 steps of therapy. What have we done so far? Here's what we've done so far. We have tested the body, 1 to 2 upper extremity, 1 to 2 trunk, 1 to 2 lower extremity motions. We tested a bunch after you guys did. Tried to find a couple. You tested the area of complaint and you scored them. Now we are going to, because it's TMR and you guys are used to probably your traditional therapist. Some of you, again, are in here because you're TMR, but again, you've gone through TMR, but maybe never thought about that I was going to have to do this with telehealth. Now you're looking at this going, okay, he's just doing a freaking TMR session here. Yep. All right. So choose a yummy motion. Choose a yummy motion. And what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 to 3 sets of X number of reps. We all right this second are going to do the twist. Every one of us is going to do the twist to your yummy one. If you don't have a yummy twist, you can do something else. But right now, what I want us all to do, this is the power of the twist. I don't think Bill Jones I think he got knocked off here. Maybe he's on here, I'm not sure. But he's the one who'll tell you that it doesn't matter what walks through the door, everybody starts with a twist, unless they have 2 bad twists. But everybody do a twist right now. Just a twist. I'm a little tighter on that side, maybe a 30. If you don't already have your twist down, put that down. So like I've got a left rotation. It's a little yucky. Actually, it's like a 25 to the left. So I now have 4 issues in my body, but the one is the one I'm going to exercise. I'm going to exercise my left rotation. Okay? So you ready to do that? Choose your good twist. Do 2 sets of 20. Get into end range. Get into end range. Okay? Get into end range. Do 2 sets of 20. Your head doesn't have to follow if it doesn't want to. And let it be comfortable. You don't have to sit up erect. If it's easier to be neutral or a little more slouched, do it. Whatever's the most comfortable. Two sets of 20. I don't care how long you rest in between. 10 seconds, 30 seconds. It's not that difficult. The twist isn't. You know, fun thing to test with. We can test with our arms out like this. We can test with our arms like this as we do a twist. Not treatment-wise, but testing. And then we can treat like that too. So there's other modifications that hit the trunk differently. All right, so get 2 sets of 20, which is about 40 of them total. Yeah, Correa, I'll give you the steps to therapy again, but again, I'll go back on and show you they're on the free training. All right, so recheck your twist to the yucky side. Now mine's just about a 5. You're heading to 0. Now go check the other stuff that you find. So I'm going to go check my leg raise. I'm going to show my right rotation with a side bend, and I'm going to check my abduction. Watch this. Whoop, look at that. That's the craziness right there. So that went to a 50 to a 10 for me. My right rotation, that's gone. My leg raise is probably going to still be there. Ooh, that's better. Went from a 60 down to a 35. Gretchen's got something good, I guess. She was smiling over there. I like that. And I'm going to tell you what it is in a second. But go do another. So the rule is, if it worked, go do another 2 sets. All right? If it plateaued, we're going to tweak it, but we're not going to tweak it yet. Okay? So everybody go do another 2 sets. Okay? And then we'll have people tell you about how this is all they use, like Bob is saying on there. We'll give you an idea how quickly they're using it in 15, 20-minute intervals, 30-minute intervals, hour intervals, getting multiple. Dean Volk, he's got a Facebook group. He's now doing it with 10 people at a time. We right now are doing it with 76. Now, those of you who don't have much, you're going to have to look at the scores that are put on here to see what other people are changing with. And yes, I didn't want to take the time to, obviously, if this was a patient, I would then tell, we'd be watching them improve. We'd have a before and after. All this is being recorded so they can see it. I can give it to them. I can give it to them as an exercise program. I mean, this recording is awesome that you can do. I'll tell you what I do to keep them involved afterwards. So once you've done your other 2 sets, recheck again all your things you had problems with. And then I'm going to put down here, what, so what I need you to do is I need to put here's my exercise, here's my beginning score, and here's my end score for all of that. So I'm going to do abduction, and I went from a 50 to a 5. And you can just put it on rotation with side bend, 40 to 0, leg raise, 60 to 15, and then left rotation, 25 to 0. But who cares what I got? I need to see you guys. And guys, when you do this with your clients who have never experienced shortening tissue, that's why this is so powerful. Your body hasn't experienced shortening. If you have a tight hamstring, you go to the hamstring that's tight and you keep stretching it. There's a problem with that, and it doesn't give expedited results oftentimes. Or another part of the body gets problematic too. Okay? So again, you're seeing the changes right now that people are having, and I started, I think it was 242 teaching this to you, or 230. And again, I'm trying to be very slow too. So both 80%, I mean, you've seen it, anterior pelvic tilt, both 80% better. We're heading to 0, so put the beginning score. Again, it's so important to do a pre-score, a treatment, and a post-score. And all all of you are doing a twist. And this is the stupid stuff that happens. 70 to 20, 20 to 10, 30 to 0, 40 to 15, 70 to 15, 70 to 20, 50 to 5. I hope I'm catching your attention here. 30 to 0, 25 to something, 25 to 0, 20 to 10. Even the person goes 20 to 10, they don't have a lot to start with, but they still got 50% better. We've done one freaking exercise. That took all of 40 seconds each set, maybe a minute and a half, so 3 minutes worth of actual exercise. Somebody did a sit to stand, they did a twist, their sit to stand went from a 30 to 0, and their cervical rotation went to 40 to 0. Remember, we're doing sit to stands. Pay attention to how this is changing, and some people's plantar flexion is getting better, right? Their mouth is jaw openings getting better, right? Their hip rotation is getting better. Now, if you'd like to try a twist, get a little bit more, right? Do the twist like this. So I'll show you, or you can listen. Everybody do the twist to their yummy side. Ready? Go. Twist from your shoulders. We're not going to do reps. Twist from your shoulders, whatever that means. Twist from your chest and your mid-back. We're just going to do one. Belly and low back. Let your head go where it wants to. Now chest and mid-back. Now shoulders. Now belly and low back. Now chest and mid-back. Now shoulders. Now whole thing combined. And relax. That's one. And we'll do one more of those. Then you can go recheck it. And you can say, oh, my body really liked pushing into end range. Or it liked reps better, at least for today. Okay. Ready? Go. Again. Belly and low back we'll start with. Chest and mid-back we'll start with. Chest or shoulders. Belly and low back. Chest and shoulders. Chest, shoulder. And good. Now check everything again. So Kay, she got a sit to stand that's an 80 to a 60. Again, she fixed that with a twist. It'll be interesting to see whether she got it even more. All right, now here's the other trick. If you still got stuff, go do something else that you found to the yummier side. So if you had this still, like that's not a problem for me. If it was, I could say, ooh, this one feels good. And I could go do it for reps of 15 or 20. Maybe I could push it into end range, but go and fix yourself now. Go take one of those other motions that we have, flip it to the other side and do it. And I always say this, if you were working trunk, go to an arm or a leg. If you were then go to leg, then go to an arm after that. So, Ola, yes, how do you document these? Again, we've got the form on the training. Now, maybe you weren't here when I talked about the training, or you were here, but maybe you stepped away. I will show you where to get all this stuff now. Now people get interested now that they've seen it on their body. Now we can go back and we can look at those videos and you go, oh, hey, you did that with that person? Oh, okay. We do this with stroke patients, guys. We do it with cerebral palsy, okay? We do it with torticollis, right? We do it with high-end athletes. We do it with major strains. We do it while somebody's in a cast, just not to the cap, we'll get passive range of motion improvement. We don't break protocol. If they are not allowed to weight bear, we don't weight bear, but we fix up everything else so they're ready. Yeah, somebody said it works well with torticollis. It's probably one of the premier torticollis treatment. So let me share my screen again. Just let me get you on the same recipe. I literally can hand this 7 steps to somebody, maybe show them this, and they literally know what to do. All right, so now I'm going to give you. Now, guys, I am giving you 1/2 of one lesson that we have in level 1, okay? And there's 13 lessons. So it says here, 7 steps. And again, you can retest all the yucky motions. So we're going to start exercising, which we did. And then we're going to retest all yucky motions from number 1 and 2. Now what happens is sometimes one thing gets better, one thing gets worse, and it's kind of mucky. Well, there's certain things you can do about that. Now we use these rules. If it gets better, do it again. If it plateaus, little change or fatigue, we tweak it. Tweak it can be increase reps, make it faster, push into end range, add resistance. And if it's worse, we have something to do about when it's worse. And our patients know these 3 rules all the time. And we're going to repeat it until no further improvement. We did that with the twist, guys. And then I said to you, hey, then change to a new exercise. 2 to 3 exercises during the session is often sufficient, just like you just had. Let me share this again. You come over here to totalmotionrelease.com. It says click here for free training. In less than 30 minutes, I treated, was 76 of you here. Click here to log in. Boom. Click to create. It'll come up with a password. Do it. You've got your 7 steps. You have your rules, and you have and you have your form, which is it's the same thing that you guys just did on paper, but it's just a little bit neater. Hey man, here's my motions, here's the side, here's the pre-score. I did 2 times 20 reps. Here's the post score. I did another 2 times 20 reps. So it just gives you a lot of room to work. Now, everybody who wants to write down your scores, let's see whether we got even better. So put down your final score. So you got to put your pre-test and your post-test down for me. Put your pre-test and your post-test down and your motion. Let's see how everybody did. Ankle plantar flexion went from an 80 to a 60 to or 50 to a 30. 2 exercises. We have people now using this. Dave Kittle, if you're with a cash-based thing, he uses TMR, and he'll tell you, I feel confident enough to offer 100% guarantee that they will improve on the first session. Dean Volk, same kind of thing. Bill and Bob can tell you the same kind of thing. So some of you, and so maybe weren't expecting to even be able to see this. Those of you who have already been in TMR, all right, hopefully you're pulling away and go, oh, I can do that right away, right? If you've taken TMR level 1, you go, now I can be more systematic. I can give them these 7 rules. Then now I can be a little bit more systematic and get them to really analyze. Guys, there's specific motions you should analyze with a person just to make sure they're getting their joint, their shoulder joint really good, their hip joint really good. All right. So, Bob, you want to share a little bit about TMR?
Sure. When we first started this, I think it was 3 years ago or so now, it was really hard to get our staff to understand what was going on. I've done this everywhere: cruise ship, grocery store, shoe store, Costco, standing in line at the theater. It almost always works. I would say 99.9% of the time, as long as you follow the instructions. So when I'm treating patients, which I don't do a whole lot anymore, I usually just fill in for other staff. This is all I do. I do an eval, I start TMR, and if for some bizarre reason it doesn't get us where we want to be, I'll do conventional exercise like I used to, but it's really, really few and far between. I've done this over Zoom, haven't charged for it. We're rolling out telehealth right now. This is the focus of telehealth for us. All of our staff has been trained over time, but there's nothing any better that I've ever found for fixing a problem. We do a lot of workshops for different kinds of things: back pain, shoulder pain, arthritis, balance and dizziness. And if any of you have done workshops in the past, you know there's always some demonstration that you want to do to wow the people that you have the skills to get them better. I'm not a manual therapist. I have arthritis in my hands, and never was really my thing anyway. I've staff that's way better doing it than I've ever was. It doesn't matter what we're talking about at a workshop, whether it's shoulder pain, knee pain, ankle pain, back pain. The only thing I've ever done is TMR. And a lot of patients who have come, or a lot of people who have come to those workshops, what we tell them is we're giving them tools to fix themselves. That's the goal of our business, not to come in so we can fix them. And we've had lots of patients come to workshops, do exactly what we told them with TMR, fix their problem. The list is a mile long. So this is an incredible way to fix people. It's not an incredible way to get 15 visits because you won't need them. So if that's kind of
there it is, but you got to go through the training. And like you got to, people will say, hey, well, I can get them done in 4. And I say, yeah, but there's training to do. But yet that can be a positive too. I know Bill is going to let them out in 4, but I will show you there is how far do they want to go. I'm not necessarily going to get that in here, but there's actually a system. How much training they want to do. They want to go only up to algebra? Do they only want to multiply, add, subtract, multiply, and divide? Do they want to get to algebra? Do they want to do geometry? What type of lifestyle do they own or have? And so we typically average, when I had a brick and mortar, about 11 visits. Thank you, Bob. Appreciate it. Bill, you're on here somewhere, but I can't even figure out. I mean, I found out where you are. Wait, there's other people here. Hey, on this first page, who else is doing TMR and wants to say something about what they're doing with this? Just unmute yourself, please. Come on. Nobody else here. Everybody get. Bill, then you can get on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I should have asked too. How many people have taken TMR? Is one of my questions too. So yeah, go ahead, Bill. We don't see you. What are you on then? I'll ask you to start your video.
Something must be wrong with my thing. Sorry, dude.
All right, go ahead. Talk.
Oh, well, I started doing TMR and I thought it was going to be the biggest waste of my time in 2007 or 8. And then it evolved into the only thing I'm doing. And I was doing manual therapy and only manual therapy from 1992 until 2007, 8-ish, and then transitioned slowly. And it wasn't like I planned on it. It's just that it kept working and kept working. And the thing with manual therapy, even though that was my bread and butter for so long, and people, would come back to see me because they thought they needed to, but and of course, we would give them exercise too, thinking that the exercises we gave them was going to, help or keep the manual therapy thing going for them at home. But the thing is, you could never prove it to yourself. So it was just all in our heads and stuff, and it made sense a little bit. But then with the TMR stuff, it's like, you see something happen right then. Well, crap, guess what? You're going home with that exercise. So now, I tell people if I don't see a positive change with a certain movement or exercise we do, they're not going home with it. Nobody leaves the clinic with 5 or 10 exercises. The majority of people leave with 2. Some people leave with 1. Some people leave with 3, but that's my bell curve right there.
And guys, we don't have to compete anymore against manual therapy right now with what's going on, right? Everybody's looking at telehealth. Right? So I don't have to worry about a mindset of a manual therapist anymore, right? Because you guys are going, whoa, we need to do this. And now, do you want stellar results? Because again, the body has not had an opportunity to heal and shortening, and it will work very quickly, just like you guys saw. So the home program, guess what? Just give them the 7 steps, right? You can give them the things that you found to work in it, and they can have that, or they can find a new one. But again, we have something called the Fab 6. Again, we're trying to systematically go through. So I'm going to show you a couple videos now that are pretty crazy to see, right, of people with weird disorders, right, that you go, whoa, that's pretty cool, right, that you'll just be able to go, hey, that's kind of neat, because you've now got a place to come from with them. So let me share my screen here. So guys, we also have a YouTube channel called Total Motion Release. We got neat things on here. I'll actually try to pull up a video as we watch one of these. I'll do it on another part. This one's amazing.
It's much harder. Just try to see if you can notice the difference when I go up. This is up and to the left.
It's funny because even your pen movement of in your hand. Okay, cool.
So they blink a lot. I don't know what that is, but I think it's just because they're struggling so much to go that direction.
Interesting. Okay, so right. Okay. All right.
So this is left. I can touch the floor.
Okay.
And this is right.
Sorry.
Flexion is fine, but extension is, there's a huge pool at the end range of extension. I don't even know if it's the end range.
Okay.
So extension is harder.
Low, medium, or high? Low, medium.
Right. Hi. So I should do them not holding on though, right?
If you can, that's great, because then your body's working the way your body works. If you hold on to anything, there's nothing wrong with it, okay? But initially, if your body can do it, and again, you don't have to turn to the side. You can have the chair normally if you want. Just the leg raise, I like it like that.
It's just sick what happens to her. So.
Let's look at your eye motion to the right. Okay, so take your pen, or you can just do it on your own. It doesn't really matter to me. Well, it helps me see because of your hand. Right? And that was at 60. That's what it is now. It's better.
That is much easier.
Yeah, so it was a 60. We're heading to 0. What is it now?
Like 20.
All right. Try the lumbar side bend to the right.
Just put your chair straight.
Awesome. Let's try your neck extension, which was a 90.
It's so much better.
It was a 90. Come on back. You don't have to. This is how you like it. That's how you like it. It was 90. What is it now?
I feel again, I hate to give them all the same number, but I feel like 10. I feel like it went almost the whole way, but just a little bit of resistance at the end.
So let's now go recheck. Use your pen, same we did in the beginning, and use it in the left hand because you actually had it in the left hand before.
Okay.
Yeah, even though you did, and then take it up to the left. It was at 60, went to a 20. Oh yeah, look at that now. How is it now?
I'll see. I don't know. The only reason I gave it a 5 is because I felt like it was good, except that it was blinking a little bit at the end.
Awesome. Let's try your lumbar side bend.
And we're good. That's good enough on that one. All right. All right. So with that said, you can go and watch it. You have a lot of wins with what you just did. You can at first not believe it. All right. You can see this. There's people with all sorts of conditions going on. So anyways, I want to open up the floor to you guys on how else I can help with just at least the treatment part. I'm going to bring other people on, like Bob, who spoke, who is going to discuss, not now, but in another day, you know, those owners that you're going, when do I determine when to let people go, right? Some of you are already there. You may be there by tomorrow, right? Who's going to tell you the black man? We got Bill Jones at me. What are you going to do when you ramp back up, okay? And how can you get yourself in a better position? You've got something called PT on demand. And then we've got, if Sean Kirk is still on here, he's got something called the reactivator, in which when you're going to go and you've got either patients right now that might be, if you're still at a skeleton crew, that would be willing to come back in if they need your procedures, or when you do go back to ramp up, to have a system in place that's automated that actually gets those patients back in the door. It's called the reactivator. And he'll be on a time. And then I've got a front office guru with D Bills. If you guys are in brick and mortar, that I'll be bringing on and stuff too. So Elizabeth said, I'm not sure Elizabeth is still here. She said, Elizabeth, you said you wanted to talk about PMR. I unmuted you. You said you wanted to talk about PMR and pediatric. You there? You're unmuted. Do you see it? May have stepped away. Okay. Okay, so the platforms, Brian, that we use right here is Zoom. They're being pretty lax about HIPAA. HIPAA, they just jumped through another hoop that they had to sign a bunch of stuff. And it cost them a lot of money to do it, right? That's HIPAA compliant. Everything's encrypted, right? So Zoom is encrypted, but when you get back and the coronavirus is over and the laxity's not there, jump over to something like doxy.me. Our sessions can last, how long do you want your sessions to last? We can just very quickly go through. I mean, Bill's got some things on our Facebook page that he was treating somebody, had 5 issues going on. He treated them in 17 minutes. Might have even been 14 minutes. So 30 minutes is plenty. You know, I just did, like I said, 76 people in a how much TMR training do I need before I start doing it? I would say, again, if you're confident that you just say, hey, I just need to get out there, you can do the free training. But then I would say is that our course is usually $595 for 16 credit hours. Right now, because all this crazy is going on, it's $400. So if you get on the website, and I can show you where it is, it's $400. So I just had an entire group come on and say, I know we're going to need this. I want to push it now. And by this weekend, and there's a home study component, which is the exact same, just like you guys saw where there's step by step by step. There's a home study component. They can be done in a day and a half and be ready. All right, if your staff is low. There's a $7.90, and you get to take it twice, right? No extra charge. So there's a $7.95 one on the website that allows you to do all three of them and take them twice, live or online. So whichever one's best. Again, all my stuff on the website is designed. If you want to know more about it, there's a video about learning more about it. You can see what's their home study, what's their home stuff. Hey man, give them the 7 steps or give them the 2 things you gave them. But most likely you'll be so better tomorrow or a little later that you'll go, I want to try some new ones. You can have fun with that. Eventually you're going to go, there must be more powerful ones or more bang for your bucks. And that's what the TMR level 1 does for you. Any of the platforms right now currently can be used, whether you can do it on Skype, you can do it on FaceTime apparently now, just about anything because of the laxity they have on the HIPAA violation. But after that, you can look around. I'm not one that, I like to take one and run with it and be done with it. It's relatively cheap. Doxy.me, I know somebody was talking to me today that said they were looking at places and they want like $3 every visit or $5 every visit. My recommendation is to go, and nothing wrong with those platforms. Doxy.me at the $35 also allows payment. So yes, I only document through the form. However, you then, if you are going to be able to get paid, you're going to just scan it. So sorry, the question was, do you document only through the form you showed us, or do you have another doc system? So we do the exercises on this. We scan it up, keep it as a PDF, and then we fill out the EMR as needs to be filled out to get paid. Any other questions? All right, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how helpful was this, maybe even surprising was this, for being able to see the positiveness of telehealth? Like, where were you before you came in? Let's say this. What was your pre-score before coming in, thinking your confidence with telehealth, versus seeing this and maybe giving you hope at least? Okay, what was your pre-score, now your pre-score, now your post-score? Because my job, I thought, was to plant a seed to give you guys confidence, and especially you guys as owners, to show your people can do it. All right? 9 and now 11. I like that. Good. I feel like TMR definitely seems to be the best tool for therapists to access and treat telehealth. Thank you for the telehealth reference. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good. And like I said, look in the coming weeks, especially owners, to do one part, but those of you who are getting laid off and stuff, we are going to try to push to help you guys out too, how you're going to scale back up, what you're going to do. You could be doing this from a cash-based perspective. Yes, it is a new thing to take on. And if you're computer illiterate or a little cautious at the computer, it does, become a little scary. Yeah, now comes, are we getting reimbursed? Are we going to get reimbursed? Just keep your eye on the Facebook groups that are doing that. Rob Vining has one that's called Telehealth PT Provider. If you're pediatrics, there's a lady by the Lauren Tandry. Yeah, Michelle, I didn't push you here on this one. Forcing the coronavirus did, right? The name is Lauren. I'll put it out here. Tandry. I think it's Lauren Tandry. But we'll also be doing a telehealth one for pediatrics. Just most likely Susan and I will be here soon. But again, that doesn't necessarily, tell you tell you the reimbursement stuff. I'm not here for reimbursement. I'm here to get you so you feel confident doing it.